ABC Big Star 1000 with a one last episode of the 1970s Gimme Ten 1979. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. This installment will not contain anything groundbreaking in terms of. I don't think you'll be too surprised by the choices. I'm guessing that these will be pretty standard things that people would have chosen anyway. Starting with this essential Manchester record, which to me represents the sound of 1979, Unknown Pleasures, which I don't really want to talk too much about because what can I say about this? It's a masterpiece. People know it. It's essential. Should be in every collection. Blah blah blah. All I say is, and this is really made by the Martin Hannett production. That's what makes this record the master. Had it been produced by somebody else with lesser ideas, I don't think we'd be talking about this record in those terms. That's what I'm going to say. Martin Hannett. Joy Division, if you've never heard of Joy Division, you're watching this channel. Yeah, band from Manchester. Just check them out. But I'm sure you've heard of them. So it's. I think it's insulting to say this to people who watch my channel. You've heard of Joy Division. And you've heard of Talking Heads, which is my second choice on this list from 1979. This is a fabulous album, and my favorite Talking Heads album changes from more songs about buildings and food, Fear of Music, Remain Light, Back Again. For a long time, it has been this one, but now that I'm doing this series, I've started to get back into Remain Light more. And I'm reading the Brian Eno biography, which is really, really interesting. Highly recommended. On Some Faraway Beach from 2008. So it's not that recent. I mean, it's kind of recent, but and the stories about the making of those albums, those three albums, are just really to die for. Great stories, and how basically, Brian Eno and David Byrne formed a little clique and excluded everybody else into Talking Heads. Very, very interesting stories and kind of sad at the same time. And this album contains the fantastic songs like Izimbra and Cities, Live During Wartime, Electricity, Electricity, same song. So that's an interesting story how they composed that song. They stripped back all the instruments and left just a little melody and made it happen. Very cool. And I'll stay with post-punk because we're talking about post-punk and American post-punk, UK post-punk. This is an essential record, in my opinion. Second edition, which basically came out as this metal box, which was a triple, I think, 45 RPM record inside a film canister. And the concept of this was that you could play it in any which order you wanted to. That was the concept. This doesn't replace but I don't know. I think it's a bit of a clunky object anyway. Even this is a bit clunky to actually open this and get the CD out. So this is a perfect compromise. Second edition, which is the same thing. You can get this for not very much. It is it's a post-punk record, really. Public Image Limited, where the band that was formed by John Lydon, Johnny Rotten, whatever you want to call him, after he basically departed or was kicked out of the Sex Pistols for the last gig in San Francisco. And I think way more interesting than the Sex Pistols ever were, conceptually and musically. They delved a lot into dub reggae, and just came up with this sort of quite abrasive version of dub, scratchy kind of angular post-punk mixed with dub, with the sardonic vocals of John Lydon and the amazing bass playing of Jah Wobble, complemented by the skillful energy brought by Keith Levine. A really amazing band. Lots of bands were inspired by Public Image Limited by this record. Okay, can I not mention London Calling? I think I have to. The Clash. Technically, it's almost a 1980 record because it's very, very end of 1979, but we'll count it as 1979. Double album with this is an original press. Doesn't mention Train in Vain, but it does on the hype sticker. Train in Vain is the best last track on any album I can think of. Just it's brilliant. Obviously, double album. What can I say? Just a top record of personal preference. Guns of Brixton, Clam Down, Lost in Supermarket. Yeah, Train in Vain, and obviously the title track. You know it. It's nothing special to mention. You've heard of it. I thought I had to include an Elvis Costello record in the 70s, at least one. And my favorite Elvis Costello record is Armed Forces. I would say that without question. This is a brilliant record from top to bottom. And this is the first Elvis Costello album I've ever heard, I think, back in, I think, 98 or something, 96, excuse me. First heard of Elvis Costello, and I was struck by the cover of this album. These elephants rushing down, that always struck me as a wonderful piece of art. I just for artwork on a record, basically. I think the American version has got this on it, which is a shame because it's just not quite as effective as this Armed Forces. And the first song that I really got into was Oliver's Army, and still I think probably is Elvis Costello's most visceral single to date. Accents Will Happen is on this too. Senior Service. What have you got? Party Girl, Goon Squad. Brilliant album from start to finish. Elvis Costello and the Attractions, Armed Forces from 1979, evidently. Great record. And then this could be the best record of 79, just as much as Talking Heads, just as much as Joy Division. Gang of Four, Entertainment. This is a mid-2000s Rhino reissue of this record, which sounds really good. It's been a long time favourite, and I'm sure it has been a long time favourite for a lot of VC members. Everything on this is just completely original, entrancing. Funk punk, whatever you want to call it. It's post-punk with a sort of a funky backdrop, but kind of also angular and very political funk punk. It's a band from Leeds in England, and every song that basically is worth hearing, from Ether to Natural's Not Great Men. I found that Essence Rare, At Home is a Tourist, Anthrax, just a collection of great songs. Yeah, fabulous record, really. Don't hesitate if you've never heard it. Entertainment by the Gang of Four. Okay, well, let's show another classic. I mean, what can I say about this? Again, I mean, it's I could not have a Gimme Ten 79 without talking about Off the Wall, which is just such a splendid record. It is just an amazing collection of songs. The best thing MJ ever did, really. Just about Off the Wall. And personal favourite of mine is the title track, Off the Wall. It's such a great song. But then, obviously, you've got Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, yeah, Off the Wall, Girlfriend. Quincy Jones produced this. This is where Michael Jackson was really at the top of his art, I think. I mean, that and Thriller, you know, you can't not mention Thriller, but it's a brilliant record. And, you know, I think I remember one of the defining moments of my life was watching Thriller on TV, video clip, 1982 or 3 or whatever. I must have been 8 years old or something, 8, 9 years old, and it just blew my mind. 7 maybe, I don't know. What was I born in? 76? You can't. Okay. Absolutely magnificent record. Tusk, Fleetwood Mac, sensational double record. At the time, was the most expensive record ever produced. At the time, obviously this has changed. But when this came out in 1979, it was a complete folly. It was lunacy, but it was well worth it, because this is a sort of thoughtless selection of songs. My favorite Fleetwood Mac song is Sarah, and which is the last song on side 1, which is a Stevie Nicks composition, and I also love it because, you know, my wife is called Sarah. It sounds a bit cheesy, but I related to that as well, and just love that song, and also love the title track Task, or The Ledge is amazing. Just everything. It's just a great record. And who hasn't seen, you know, that Task video clip with the marching band? It's great. I don't think you should be surprised, me including the B-52's record, band from Athens in Georgia, same as R.E.M. actually, and Pylon. This is just a collection of mega danceable songs, just fun music, and there's nothing wrong with party music, really. There's music for the head and there's music for the feet. Talking Heads do music for the head and for the feet at the same time, and this is definitely music for the feet, but you can't. It's so joyous and amazing. Led by Fred Schneider and twin vocals of Cindy Wilson and Kate Pearson. Obviously, everybody's heard B-52's, Rock Lobster, Planet Claire. Personal favorite is 52 Girls. I just love that song. It's such a great energy about it. There's a moon in the sky called The Moon, and their cover of Downtown by who did Downtown in the 60s? I know exactly what it is, but the name just completely escapes me right now. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about her. This record is fantastic. Recorded in Nassau, Bahamas, Compass Point, a place which has really given birth to so many classic records, from Grace Jones to Ian Dury to so many great records recorded in Nassau. The Police, Ghost in the Machine, and finally, a little surprise to finish off the decade. a reggae record. Yes. And I love. Look. I'm a big Gainsbourg fan. You know, he's my favorite artist. There's no shame in this. But this is a fantastic record. I wouldn't include this unless I thought, man, someone who's going to watch this video is going to enjoy listening to this. This is the very first, I believe, the very first French reggae record. Gainsbourg was very much into anticipating the next wave of music. He was into trying to predict what was going to be in and popular. And he knew reggae was a major musical force, and he for that he went to Kingston, Jamaica, and he found a great crew of amazing musicians, Sly Dunbar and Robbie Shakespeare are on this record. There they are, Sly and Robbie, and the I3s, which are the Bob Marley and the Wailers vocalists. Yeah, there they are in Kingston. And this is an amazing album. In the pecking order of Gainsbourg, I think this is in the top 5 for me of Gainsbourg. Also really love the albums that I showed you already. L'Homme à tête de chou and Histoire de Melody Nelson is my favorite album, full stop. But also an album from 1984 called Love on the Beat, which is worth mentioning. This is amazing. It's a very, very influential album. So that's it. I'm going to stop here. 1970s, check. Next week we might attempt 1980, if you are willing to follow me with this. Leave me some responses, some comments, etc. I'm sure you'll have some things to say. And I've got a box next to me, which you can see it's full. There's a whole lot of records from 1979 that I would like to talk about for revolutions. Thank you, VC.